Sorry. You okay? You coffee or tea or whatever? Huh? Sure. Huh? Minum teh, mi kau air kosong ke? I should avoid too much coffee. Coffee is not good. It's just,
so, looking at coming Monday, what is your expectation?
frankly, Steve, I'm not certain.
Are you hopeful?
I'm still hopeful because unlike '98 where they didn't adduce any facts and they just say based on poor Arifin Jaka was no longer here, just based on the testimony of Azizan. In this case, they rely on the forensic evidence. They thought they were smart, and we demolished it. So how do you envisage a decision that ignore the facts and the law? So I am therefore optimistic that he would have no option but to acquit. But knowing the system and realistic enough to understand, I wouldn't be surprised if the decision is to convict. Then we have two options, either to send me immediately to Sungai Buloh or pending bail pending appeal to give bail. And it's also difficult for them to deny bail because they just had Toyo case.
That's right.
In all cases for that matter. But as you know, Anwar has always been an exception.
It happened in the first.
Yeah, in the first case and in all the other cases too. But I think the important thing that whether I am psychologically prepared and Aziza and the family are quite ready. We did have a session, as you know, New
Session
Year.
what?
Among the family, just where we just consider all the options and allowed the children and my son-in-laws to speak up and express their concern. But Alhamdulillah, they've been very, very, very great. I mean, even for Aziza, it's difficult. I mean, she went through that, and then she knows. I mean, I'm concerned about my back condition and my age. I always say that I feel 46. I'm 64. This is another form of state of denial.
Mine is still 46.
So it's not easy. It's not easy. And the other thing, their main concern in the family though is security, my personal safety. I kata no. Dia kata yeah, but that's what we said in 1998. It did happen. And then after that, Dollar said it will never happen. But still, the way I was treated in 2008 is a repeat, short of being assaulted. But the rest of the treatment was just completely inhumane. No consideration for my back condition, my age, nothing. I mean, I'm not talking about the stripping, but I'm talking about the, putting me on cement. And, it's excruciating pain following that. I had an immediate jab. My Dr. Joe Bucks came to the house and, so it's not easy. But I think I will be able to manage.
Are you psychologically prepared for it?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, I don't know. I mean, people say I'm quite crazy, but I think, no, really. I've thought of it. I know what to expect in the minutest detail. Nobody want to, frankly, people say, oh, you want to be a martyr, hero. It's absolute nonsense. When it comes to this age and going through that, people assume they know. That's why in the case of like even Petra, the fact that his decision not to go to jail, I understand. And for that matter, I do sympathize with him that part. Although I don't necessarily agree with the fact that the extent that you must go to sell your soul. But I can understand the predicament. It's not easy. People can talk about, oh yes, at a certain age, there's a preparation. But then after going through and the risk, okay, you can say they will not do it, but your matter of safety, if it's done, it's done.
Because basically you are at their mercy, so to speak.
Yeah. What to eat, what to wear, where to sit, it's all at their mercy.
I think he'll survive
Yeah.
And compared to before, your health is probably not as good
Yeah,
as before.
yeah. Except for the back, the rest is okay, and I'm generally the health condition, or not as it was in the 98, tapi except for the back. The back is of course worse than what it was in 98. But I think I'll of course tell them you want. The only problem is excruciating pain, and they don't give me enough. They say, well, we will have to ask the doctor. The doctor will say, we ask the consultant. The consultant will check with the minister. You went through, and if they send the same Jayendran, I have a hell lot of a problem, because that's the only doctor that Mahathir allowed to see me, and you can see his performance in court. I mean, that's the only doctor they assigned to me. Once I had this, they call it baseline pneumonia, and normally, I'm quite adamant in my ways, I just refuse to concede. I will not. I said, please, I want to go to the hospital. No, I just refuse. But that night, I couldn't breathe. And so they called the hospital, the doctors, yes, but then they have then to refer to him. HKL. They have to refer to him. He said, okay, give this medication, it is okay. And I was getting angry. The director of the hospital came, and I said, and Penjara came, and I said, look, I've never asked you for anything, but I cannot breathe. It's tough. And I saw him. I said, so they discussed. They immediately contacted Jayendran. He said, okay, I'll come tomorrow morning. They have to wait till tomorrow morning. Then he cleared. He checked with the minister. Then the minister said yes. And went to the hospital. So it's terrible. Was it that? I mean, that's the only thing, that slight disturbing. But did I manage? Yes. Can I? Yes. I believe I'm getting a baseline pneumonia? I don't think so. So it's just the back.
What about in terms of political survival? Do you think that if you were to go to jail, coming out, considering that you might not be given the treatment that you would hope for, you probably be worse for wear?
I mean, physically, you mean?
Yes. Would you be able to continue?
I'm quite macho, my way. No, boleh. I think there is a difference too, because the prison officers, even the police officers, they are not cruel. The problem is instructions that they receive. I've been in the police lockup in Bukit Aman. The police personnel on the ground have been exceedingly kind. I mean, that's why sometimes I hear speeches, this get pantai police in general. I fear I have difficulty because there are some very decent, caring guys there. Similarly in prison, I think the entire, officers, my 6 years there, probably one yang really the UMNO Perkasa type. The rest are, very sympathetic. But of course, they think that they just cannot do. But I mean, the fact that they're kind, they say, I'm not well, then okay, the least they can give a Panadol. They don't need to consult an expert. They will still do it. Or give some, medication to rub the back. So it's not as bad. It's not good.
Do you think you'll come back to a strong coalition in terms of Pakatan Harian?
Of course, this is a major issue being addressed. The fact that what happens to the common agenda, manifesto, interim leadership, who will be coordinating. But you don't forget that we have been dealing with this issue for the last 3 years. The moment I was charged, the perception is that I'm sure I'm going to lose a case, no matter what the case is going to be.
You think Pakatan will emerge stronger because?
Yes, in fact, some of them jokingly. I mean, Azizah didn't like it. They got, you see, it should be better because you have another issue there, and an emotive sikit, quite emotive to the Malay. Now they with UMNO resigned at the fact that they've given up with the Chinese generally. I mean, there's no real credible voice or program or policy to appease the Chinese anymore. I believe that strongly. With some Indians, yes, they're trying still, but I don't think they'll be very successful. So the battleground is clearly a Malay battle this time. Now, they did consider this, Anwar in jail or outside, among the Malays. It will eat. Probably not the same as 99, I don't know, but certainly People, even in some, I'm no guys, they can say, yeah lah, we disagree with you, we won't support you, tak usah lah, buat haji. I mean, there is also that consideration. And in unlike other cases, these cases have been debated, discussed, pamphlets, documents, medical record, all spread all over the country. That's why I'm not, except they use some of these katas and prakasa types. Did not use this as they did in 99 on the sodomy case and allegations in their campaigns. Yeah, people resent that.
So you're going to jail. Who also give more sympathy towards the Malays, like compared to the Chinese or Indians.
No, Chinese and the Indians, I think, for the Chinese, I mean, I could safely say that generally, to a very large extent, large majority, is with the Pakatan Rakyat. So the battleground of the Malays. So, for example, with the Chinese, the whole issue, this issue, just they completely reject. I mean, there's a lot of, I meet them, they just say outright condemnation, or even the preferred charge against me. The Malays, of course, still listen to the arguments, etc. The general view, perception, the Pakatan leaders is that by putting me in jail will strengthen our case, would probably bring about better support to the cause, or slightly more. And I think I'm not do concede this. I met quite a number. It'd be interesting that these guys also.
So they may go for the second option, convict you, but
yeah.
let you out on bail.
That seems to be the thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that the Malays are still viewing, they're listening to both sides still. Could it be that if you're convicted, that would be a deciding factor for them? That obviously means that he was actually guilty of what Anwar was saying.
You see, even in 1998, 99, when generally the Malays accept the judiciary as independent, generally, even then they did not accept the decision. Okay. Now, after all these years talking about Teo Beng Hall, to Hogan, to PKFZ, all these cases, and now in a very, very common story about stealing a shampoo and Hetoyo case example, people know that. I don't think you should underestimate the wisdom of the message. Except for those, say, rural heartland that have no access, not only to the alternative media, Malaysiakini or whatever, but not enough ceramah or interaction. I believe for that sort of pocket, yes, but otherwise tidak juga. I mean even ketua UMNO cawangan, they say, yalah, but not this lah, kita tak setuju lah pasal you baik dengan DAP. Itu banyak, quite common. I hear quite a lot, particularly even Penang, some of my old UMNO guys. Dia kata, lagi I counter lah, Guan Eng buat apa? Tanah you yang mana Guan Eng ambil? Tak adalah, tapi apa you nak ketua Menteri Melayu? Dulu pun dia minta tidak je. So kita boleh argue. Tapi that's the only point there is. Not the issue of sodomy or the charge tak ada.
But you have to recognize that they are throwing so much mud at you. It's not just the sodomy thing, the sex video and all that stuff. And eventually, some of it will stick.
Yeah.
How can you, reverse that effect?
Yeah, today pluralism again, utusan. So kadang iyalah betul. Tapi orang kata, you see, one argument is that there are 100 charges or allegations against Anwar. 5 may be true.
That's right. That's
Okay,
what they're
right.
thinking.
But there are also others who would say, it's not possible for a man to be involved in these 100 cases. They also dismiss. It's an overkill. And you have found some cases where arguments say, look, like an agent, some they really sold this idea about these pro-Christian things, starting from the Allah issue, and now pluralism. But the rural heartland, the religious scholars are with us, and that is their difficulty when we come there. And even on this pluralism, probably they are using some of these groups. But I say, look, I've sent the entire speech, LSE speech, to Sheikh Qardawi, to Wahbah Zuhaili, to Sheikh Taha, the 3 top world scholars. And of course, they wanted to know the context. And this is 80% non-Muslims, the London School of Economics is not addressed to Malaysians. They're mainly for the LSE program. And they say, okay, if that's the case, the charge you will come and defend you. That is, how I counter this. This seems to be, of concern because of some. But otherwise, you have to deal with it. Well, yeah, but maybe they have utusan activity daily. But yes, some say, you give some. But you go on the ground and meet these people. If there's any impact, I don't think they will come. If they portray you sodomy, prostitution, Jewish agent, CIA, World Bank, whatever, they won't come.
So you're certain that most Malaysians and most Malays are convinced that the charges referred against you are fabricated?
Well, I don't know. If it's 99, they were quite convinced because majority of the Malays did support Pakatan Rakyat. And 2008 was still good at that, right? Now I think since then, our states we have worked harder. I'm quite confident Penang, Selangor, Kedah. The penetration into the rural sector is very, very high.
Do you think there will be a large drop? For example, because compared to the first case, there's a lot of people, there's some groups every day dekat luar mahkamah.
Yeah. That was I was in jail. See.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a difference. I was in jail. Yang ini, I be in the lockup today, in the court. Finish at 4. At 6, I'm already in Ipoh. So you appear. Dia kata tak apa, dia appear. But this one I generate a lot of interest. I was in, for example, Melaka. People are coming. They told me, saya pergi. Saya jumpa di mahkamah. I was in Sungai Petani last week. Kita pergi. Quite ni. Terengganu, Kelantan yang datang.
So you think the support has been consistent in first sodomy trials?
I don't know, this incessant attack since then. Probably adalah sikit.
One last question.
Yeah. Oh.
Worst case scenario. Let's say if you go to prison on Monday, what would be your message to Malaysia?
Work, fight this corrupt, unjust system, but use all your resources and focus on the elections. Because elections is imminent. That will be my message. Elections.